Hello everybody and welcome to a Premodern video. I will be recording today the part 1 of a video series that I'm recording for a great member of the community, Shoutout. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. Yeah, somebody has an even harder to pronounce last name than I do apparently. And we're going to be playing some fun decks that Gerard really enjoys. And we're going to be starting off with a False Cure. This is the Phil Nguyen special, and we're going to be trying an interesting version. I'm not sure that I agree with some of the card choices, but I really wanted to give this a shot because it's doing a lot of very interesting things. The way that this combo works is you cast a False Cure, and then you have access to Sky Shroud Cutter, which is a 4-mana 2/2, but you can make your opponent gain 5 life to cast it for free. And then Reverent Silence, which if you control the forest, you can destroy all enchantments and cast it for free for your opponent gaining 6 life. So the idea is you play a False Cure or hopefully multiples, and then you play a Sky Shroud Cutter and Reverent Silence, and then your opponent dies instead of gaining a bunch of life. We are backing this game plan with a Cabal Therapy, of course, a fantastic disruption card, and then we have access to Wall of Blossoms to buy time, Veteran Explorer as part of the engine. Of course, we have access to a bunch of basics to back that up, while a Protection Tower as well. And then we also have access to some card advantage with Factor Fiction and Intuition. We can also control the board thanks to Pernicious Deed, and if we want to combo multiple times, even something like Nostalgic Dreams allows us to, even by having only a single Reverent Silence, for example, we can go False Cure, double Reverent Silence, Nostalgic Dream, discard any random cards that we have in our hand that don't matter, and then we get back the Reverent Silences to finish off our opponent in a single swing. So that's the combo, that's the concept that we're trying to get together here. This version is interesting in that it's actually playing a Cunning Wish package. So we have 3 copies of Cunning Wish, and then in the sideboard we have access to False Cure number 4, of course, and then we have a bunch of one-off impactful cards like Diabolic Edict, Smother, Chain of Vapor, Factor Fiction as card advantage again, Crop Rotation to find an enabler for sacrificing the Veteran Explorer, which is kind of cute and in my opinion a little bit unnecessary, but that's besides the point. And then Naturalize, this is what comprises our Cunning Wish package, and then we have some real cyber cards in 1 Tormos Crypt, 3 Stunted Swarm to play against the combo, the counterspell decks in the format, and then Duress as a way to disrupt our opponent as well. So this is a very, very interesting concept. There are a lot of things that I like about this deck, and then there are some that I'm not a super fan of. I definitely love the False Cure and Nostalgic Dreams idea. I mean, I feel like Nostalgic Dreams really kind of solves what can be potentially a problem, which is that you kind of need a lot of combo pieces, right? Sure, we have a bunch of ways to buy time with Wall of Blossoms and Explorers, or opponent can't attack, same thing with Pernicious Deed, but the real deal is going to be like, if we don't have our combo set up, we don't have a realistic way of actually winning the game, so that's kind of weird. But yeah, I mean, we have a lot of digging power with FOV and Cunning Wish and Intuition as well, so very excited to try out this deck. I've been eyeing it for a while, and today we finally get to take it for a spin. So looking forward to this one. I'm going to be playing against Lanny, who has agreed to play a couple of matches against me, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So hopefully you'll join me in this fun and probably very silly combo deck that we're going to be playing, and it's going to be great. So buckle up and let's get going. Okay, here we go with round number 1. This hand is kind of weird, but oddly enough, I think I'm probably supposed to keep this. So I'm gonna keep this. We have double Cabal Therapy, and the plan here is to play Swamp on 1 and do nothing, because I'm not gonna throw away this Cabal Therapy until I know what my opponent is doing. Flooded Strand, fetch for an island, so this can be probably Gro-a-Tog, this can be Dreadnought. If I find a basic forest here, then we're gonna be in really, really good shape, because that means that I'm gonna be able to just absolutely destroy my opponent's hand. Oof! Oh baby. So let's Cabal Therapy Naming Days, and let's see what we get. Oh, he also has the foil. Ugh, brutal. Okay, so he's actually playing, so we do hit. What I could do, funnily enough, is I could play this Veteran Explorer to force my opponent to foil it. Yeah, because then I think what I can do is I can just go Wall of Blossoms next turn. Like, he kind of has to. Oh, he doesn't. Well, then I'm going to be able to get a Swamp, and then another, and then an Island, and then I'm going to be able to double, just destroy his entire hand. So let's Cabal Therapy, sacrificing Veteran Explorer. He's gonna be able to get some basic, and this is the downside of Veteran Explorer. This is why I do not like Veteran Explorer as a card, really. But now Therapy is on the stack. He got his basics. He foils, pitching Island, and he also pitched Fire and Ice. So we let that resolve, and then we cast another Cabal Therapy. He ups in response, Gush, and I do think I'm naming Meddling Mage here. And we hit. Perfect. His hand is Island, Source to Plowshare, City of Brass, Counterspell. We're gonna play this Wall of Blossoms, which is actually kind of awkward because, man, this is another reason why I don't like Diabolic Intent as a card. So now, Wall of Blossoms trigger on the stack, he can just plow it, so I don't get to Therapy. He can also just Counterspell here. Oh, he lets it resolve. So let's play my land, and I think... Yeah, I think it's actually very important for me to resolve this Fact or Fiction, so I'm just going to Flashback Therapy now. He casts the Counterspell and ship the turn back. His hand is Island, Source to Plowshares. 1 mana short of casting the Foff. Unlucky. So I think I'm going to be doing Upkeep Foff. If he plays the Island, I'm going to Fact or Fiction in my Upkeep, because I know that he doesn't have Counterspell in hand. And I think it's very important for me to be able to resolve this Fact or Fiction so I can get the engine rolling again. He did play out the Island. So fetch, swamp, and then with that on the stack, let's cast Fact or Fiction. These Diabolic Intents are heinous. These are so bad. They're not working out right now. I just don't think... Oh yeah, this is a great split for me. I'll definitely take this. So choose pile 1, and now we're gonna be able to like just cast Wall of Blossoms and actually have something to sack to the Diabolic Intent, funnily enough. I doubt he kept the Ace on top, so... Okay, perfect. Ship the turn back. Gosh. Gonna play a Psychotog. Alright, so his hand, we know about Source of Plowshares, nothing else. Another Foff is very nice. In our sideboard, we do have access to False Cure, so we could have my opponent, we just don't have enough to kill them. We're going to need more. So I guess I play out Pernicious Deed here. If he has a foil, he kind of has to use it. Okay, so that resolved. Great. And ship the turn back. Place another land. So here we're going to block. He needs to like take some power off the Tog in order to do anything here. Is there any way that I can get main deck Disenchanted? Lanny is kind of a maniac, so he may have like main deck Ray of Revelation. I'm still going to like YOLO a little bit here, because like worst case, I mean he would need to have Counterspell and Disenchant, so really doubt that he's gonna have access to both. We can get False Cure. Now we untap Llanowar Waste. Oh, we do have to watch out for Armageddon. Forgot about that. Okay, let's Fact or Fiction. This is a nice one, because he knows that I have the False Cure in hand, right? I'm gonna take pile 2, I think, because it has lands. And I just said Armageddon is what I'm scared of the most right now. The nice thing is I have this Pernicious Deed here that I'm just representing, that I don't really have to crack. A little bit awkward that this Delta is actually dead, now that I think about it. So maybe I should have kept the second deed. Yeah, I should have definitely kept the second deed. So here we're gonna take a hit. No reason not to. If this Diabolic Intent were literally any other card, I would be in such great shape. Right off the bat. Right off the bat, I can probably say that. I mean, now that I think about it, I could have allowed the intent with the Sky Shroud Cutter, so that was a little bit of a mistake, but like still, with only 12 creatures, I'm not feeling the Diabolic Intent. So I really need, okay, so Cutter. Man, this is still 18. This is still not lethal. If my opponent counters this, or if they counter this. So I could just go for False Cure. I think I probably have to. I could pass one more turn. I'm gonna hold on to the Delta in hand, because we do have access to Nostalgic Dreams. What are the chances that he has Counterspell? Probably pretty high. I do think that I do go for it. Let's force him. Like, let's see if he has it, because if this resolves, then we just win. So okay, so he does have it. The problem is, once again, I cannot enable this without I cannot enable this without using my Cutter, which is what was making this card lethal, right? So we're in a very awkward spot. Opponent opts. We can take a couple of hits from this Tog, and this Pernicious Deed being in play is doing a lot of work for us. So we can wait until we find another Cabal Therapy. At this point, another False Cure. Maybe we should have just gone to this card and discarded the Polluted Delta, honestly. The problem is, like, Armageddon is looming, and that's kind of a very big deal. We untap. Llanowar Wastes is not great. I know one of his cards is dead, so I think I'm just going to hard cast this Cutter. It's funny because I can't even play it for free, which is really awkward with the deed here. But I can't actually play it for free because that means that one more card that I need to have in order to combo. So it's really weird. So I do think here we're just going to pass the turn. And I do think he's just going to plow the cutter. I mean, he has seen intent, so he should definitely plow the cutter. A good thing I didn't cast the intent because I would have died to the Gro-a-Tog because of Gush. So him playing out the land at least means that doesn't have Armageddon. Gonna not block, just take the damage. Swords to Plowshares. Yeah, he does use it. Makes sense. Cabal Therapy. Perfect. Actually, that doesn't even do anything. Okay, I'm gonna play this stupid swamp. Pass the turn back. So the problem with Cabal Therapy here is I'm not enabling anything. So it doesn't really help me at all to Cabal Therapy right now. Doesn't progress my game plan whatsoever. So if I therapy for counterspell, I'm not achieving anything. I need to find like a Wall of Blossoms. Nostalgic Dreams is a good one. Okay, now I can finally... I have something to protect. So I'm going to name Counterspell with this. And, oh, he has foil. Damn it. Ugh. Okay, so now I'm still in a spot where I need to find a creature. And we are super dead together here. Especially knowing that he has a bunch of lands in hand. Discards the city and pokes me with the Tog. The good thing is, the second we draw any creature, we're gonna be in business. Not it. Okay, I guess we're just gonna discard this Polluted Delta. Ice my island. No blocks. Alright, draw a creature. Damn it. I could Nostalgic Dreams for 2 to bait out the foil. Okay, so let's do this. We're going to Deed for 3. This kills the Mox and the Tog. Go to second main phase. Now we're going to Nostalgic Dreams for... I mean, I guess we could just do it for 1. So we Nostalgic Dreams, pitch in Llanowar Wastes, and Diabolic Intent. I could just do it for Fact or Fiction. That's another option. Or for Wish. No, but that doesn't achieve anything. Yeah, I kind of have to do it for 2. If I do want to force my opponent to foil. I could just go for Deed, I guess. Yeah, so let's just go for Deed. Green, pitch Diabolic Intent. Let's that resolve. And then we play another Pernicious Deed. So now that's in play. He finally casts the Dryad. Damn it. Sheep the turn back. Take 1. Played out the island. Interesting. Oh, come on. Sheep the turn back. It all goes back to the turn where I could have gotten... Like, if this were a Sky Shroud Cutter... I mean, I would be in better shape because I can just discard these lands to resolve Nostalgic Dreams to assemble the combo, so it was actually a pretty big problem. Yeah, this is annoying. At least he can't play something second main phase, because like anything he plays, I just kill, so... Yeah, I guess I have to do this. So pop the Deed. Yeah, I think I actually made a misplay. I should have gone for the False Cure when I went for the Deed, because like I'm trying to bait my opponent to counter it anyway, so if that's the case, then... I really need to do something. I need to do something that actually forces my opponent to take the action. Oh, did it just misplay this? No, I think I missed. No, I guess that there was no window for me to like hold the mana. I would have needed to like just not crack the Deed at all. Another Deed is not great. Also, I don't have forests now, so even if I wanted to, I cannot cast these Reverent Silences. And I may be a 2 since I have only this stupid. Oh my god. Since I have only Pain lands, I think I'm not gonna be able to kill my opponent before they kill me unless I naturally find a False Cure. I guess I need to find Wall of Blossom. If I find Wall of Blossoms, then I may be in okay shape. Okay, that is something, I guess. I don't think I have time to play around days. I think we're under too much pressure. But yeah, I knew that Armageddon was gonna be a problem. Finally get the foil out of their hand, and now I guess the only way I can win now is indeed by him. I mean, he doesn't have Counterspell, otherwise he would have cast Counterspell instead of casting foil there. But like any cantrip, I'm dead too, and I need to find exactly. I would need to find exactly a creature. Yeah. All right. Yeah. This game was a disaster. This card is just bad. Let's cut it. I do like Duresses, and I also think Sanded Swarm is really interesting. Not loving Nostalgic Dreams, but maybe it's just fine. I guess Intuition we can cut. We do have a lot of tools. Let's cut a Reverent Silence and the Wish. Man, I do not like wishes. Let's just cut them all, and let's bring back another Nostalgic Dream. Wishes seems so awkward in this matchup. I guess I do want Smother over Sanded Swarm. It's interesting whether the Sanded Swarm should potentially be in the main deck. So now we're on the play. We're once again in a situation where we really need to find a green source, but we do have Cabal Therapy and a black source. Also, I mean, I guess I kind of have a bit of the combo here. I think I'm going to keep this. Let's go Underground River, and I think I'm going to pass. Turn 1 Portent. The dream. False gear. Yuck. So I think we're gonna name Meddling Mage here. Oh, he daces. We at least got our little time walk effect. Oh, there we go. That's what I would have named. Okay. Pass the turn back. It's not looking good for the good guys. It's not looking good for the good guys. So now he has named Deed. I imagine this is gonna name like False Gear or something. Cabal Therapy. So we can play Wall of Blossoms, or we can play Vedex. My opponent has missed the land drop though, so I'm not gonna go with the wall. That resolved. Okay. I mean, this is 16 points of damage. Ice to tap my dude. Just to get in for 4. That's hilarious. Alright, here's a Veteran Explorer. You go. I think he's struggling on mana, so I'm not going to lock with the Vedex just yet. He did have the Strand, so it's good sequencing for him. Scented Swarm number 2. It's not looking good. This is most definitely not looking good. I think I'm going to be forced to block with the Veteran Explorer here. Like, I really need the lands. It's obviously awful because he gets a crack at it before I do. But I really need the lands, and at least now I have access to the Scented Swarm. This also can enable my opponent's Armageddon, so that part is not great. But so there's a swamp, and I guess I'm gonna get an island. Yeah, he just has Geddon. Oh gosh, into Geddon? Gross. Perfect, another full skewer. In a pitch factor fiction. I mean, I could find like swamp, and then the Scented Swarm just allows me to win. I guess I can't do that. Like, I would need to find the forest, otherwise I cannot cast these guys. Man, I'm so upset at that first game. Phyrexian Tower. I mean, actually, that means that if I win, if I top deck... Oh, I don't win, never mind. I don't have enough. This is only 17 damage. Alright, yeah, I've seen enough. I've seen enough. Yeah, so the story of this game is I don't think Diabolic Intent should be in the deck. Like, we just cannot support it. So that's definitely like a thing to keep in mind. And then the Cunning Wishes are really slow, especially against like a tempo style deck with daces and stuff. So that's something to keep in mind. This may be worth it for you know, another like aggro matchups or like decks that cannot really interact with what we get or whatever. I did like the Nostalgic Dreams part of things. Okay, here we are for round number 2, and I think this hand is a keep. We do have Veteran Explorer. If my opponent is playing any sort of deck that can punish me, that's gonna be a problem. Llanowar Waste. This could be something like the Rock. Unfortunately, it can't be Feb, because can't play Feb on Moto. Diabolic Intent, good for it to be taken. So we found some value for that. Okay, so this has to be a Rock. So let's play the Waste. Actually, I should have played Island. That was my bad. So I think it's actually valuable for me to attack, because every damage that I get in, sure, this allows my opponent to attack with the treetop if they want to, but for every like extra damage that they take, that's like less pieces that I need in order to combo. Let's swing for 1. I mean, if he's not attacking. End step Croson Tusker. Woof. Also, I just realized that Baloth is nigh unbeatable for me. Because like gaining life is just brutal for this deck. That's hilarious. Sure. If he wants to take the Cunning Wish, I'll let him. Yeah, he takes the FOF anyway, which makes sense. This also means that now I'm going to probably Cunning Wish for a FOF. Treetop is feeling frisky, so let's go with a FOF. Okay. So this is now 11. I'm just going to play a land, and I guess I swing again. If he's spending his mana to attack with Treetop, that means that he's not playing a Baloth. Diabolic Edict. Let's get a Black Source. I guess 2 swamps. Yeah, Treetop's getting in there. So Nostalgic Dreams is really nice here, actually. Is Intuition just lethal? So he needs to split Intuition and Reverent Silence. Okay, this is actually a pretty nice split. I guess I think I take the most cards because that allows me to Nostalgic Dreams. So I think that's fine. Wall of Blossoms into play. So let's play out Deed. Ship the turn back. I guess I shouldn't have played the Deed actually now that I think about it, because if he has his own Deed, like this Wall of Blossoms already checking the Treetop Villages, and cards in my hand do matter a lot. Yeah. Okay, so I guess now I can just go Nostalgic Dreams for Intuition. Let's see what we draw. So Nostalgic Dreams for Intuition, cast Intuition for triple False Skewer, and then this works. So discard Vetex, Intuition for triple False Skewer. Did we just do the thing? Are we gonna do the thing? I think we're gonna do the thing. Yes. 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 He cracks Deed. Yes. I also love the fact that False Cure says that they gain the life and then they lose the life, which just sounds hilarious to me. Alright, so what do we want here? I think we want the therapies. We probably don't want the duresses. We have to be mindful of stuff like Withered Wretch or Tormod's Crypt or even stuff like Haunting Echoes. But I don't think there's anything that I don't want. Like, I probably cannot cut the Nostalgic Dreams, right? So I think we just submit the same 75, the same 60. Yeah, I think so. Haunting Echoes would be brutal though. Yeah, this hand looks fine. Let's keep it. Got a Vedex for 1. Takes the False Cure. Okay. There's the Explorer. He has seen the Deed and he has seen the Cunning Wish. Oh, he's got Therapy. Okay, I imagine he takes the Wish. Oh, he takes the Deed. Very interesting. Okay. And plays out a Treetop. Swing for 1. Tempting Worm? Hell yeah. Alright, let's put some lands into play. Let's go. Let's go. So now we get to Wish for Foff. It's kind of interesting if we would want like something like Stroke of Genius in the sideboard. I think I'm gonna Therapy and I'm going to name a Ravenous Veloth, Diabolic Edict, Recurrent Nightmare. Think that he may keep those? No, this is bad because he gets to use his Cabal Therapy without me being able to Foff. So I get to take the Nightmare. So I flashback Vedex, I get Swamp and Island. Because it's really bad if he just like flashbacks Tempting Worm, right? If he just flashbacks his own Therapy. Taking 5 is a lot of damage though. I'm actually going to take 8 because I'm giving him the lands to enable to activate Treetop. Yeah, I think I really need to get this Foff going, so I'm just going to flashback here. I'm going to get an Island and a Swamp. We're going to be taking 8 this coming turn, which is a lot. So this Factor of Fiction is going to have to carry. And I think we name Diabolic Edict because the Recurrent Nightmare doesn't really do anything. And I'm not going to fall for right now. I know that I could find exactly Veteran Explorer and I could play it out, but I don't think that's worth knowing. Just letting my opponent know that they have to Cabal Therapy or whatever. Say damage. It's a lot of damage. Yeah, okay. So he did go for it, so now we're just going to cast it off. So whatever I put in my hand, I'm just going to choose this pile because it has more cards and I have Nostalgic Dreams in my deck. Because like it just doesn't matter. Like whatever I get, he's going to name with the Therapy that's on the stack. So it doesn't matter which one we take. Place out the cards that I know, and he's down to a single unknown. Vedex. This is nice because it allows me to block, and it also allows me to like keep the Landwear Wastes in my hand to pitch to Nostalgic Dreams if I were to top deck it. About Therapy, yeah. He knows what I have, so there goes that. Lock. Gonna get a couple of forests here. If the last unknown is the Range Hermit, this is a big problem, but I don't think I can really play around that. Well of Blossoms, not bad. Something I can chump with. I also have Diabolic Intent available now. I am not going to chump this turn, I don't think, because I have cards that I want to be able to enable. Hey, I guess I lose. Yeah, so that means the False Cure is gone, the Deed is gone, Factor of Fiction. Yeah, I don't think I can win the game anymore, so I'll just concede. We could be playing for a little bit longer, but I don't think that achieves anything. Do I want to cut the Intents? Do I want to bring in Duresses? All of these are questions. I think I want to bring in Smother and cut a Diabolic Intent and just go for it. I can still like go back and I can still wish for Diabolic Edict if I really needed to. Lanny says, wish this was a win for the worm, but just a boring Haunting Echoes kill. Womp womp. Okay, what do we got? No green sources once again. Yeah, I think this one I'm gonna ship. Oh my god. Oh my god. This mana situation is just not working. Gonna keep this. I think I'm gonna bot on the Cutter, Intuition on the Cutter. And we're gonna go turn 1 Therapy for Duress. He has his own Duress, his own Therapy. Okay. Like there's no way he names Well of Blossoms or Cunning Wish, so not super scared of his own Therapy. So I think it's better to name Therapy than Duress there because without information I think that he's gonna whiff, so I'd rather him like not take a valuable card. Yeah. Names Factor Fiction. Here's a wall. Okay, that means I actually get to cast this kind of wish, which is nice. Place a Treetop, ships the turn back. No need for me to flashback this Therapy just yet, so I'm just gonna pass the turn. He may feel compelled to like activate his Treetop just to bin. Well, that really sucks. That's an extremely good draw for him. So whatever I can get with the wish, he just takes, so no value in doing anything there. Yeah, that's rough. So now we get an Island, untap, the Cutter, baby. Okay, we're cooking now. So this turn we're gonna have to flashback naming Deranged Hermit. Oh, or yeah. So let's just Cabal Therapy, naming Deranged Hermit. And it's not great. And send it back. He also cannot only activate a single treetop, so we're not afraid of like getting attacked. Instead, we get to Foth. Diabolic Intent we can actually cast. Don't mind if I do. It's kind of sexy that we get to Nostalgic Dreams, Pitching Therapy. If we had double green, of course, but which we don't. After a lot of thinking, he goes with this split. I think I'm gonna go for the bottom half. Top half is really nice, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it really gets me anywhere. I mean, I guess I do get to play out the deed. Nostalgic Dreams is really good here, but I can't even cast it. I think I'm gonna go for the top pile. That may be wrong, because if I find the green source, then I can Dreams for Foth. Immediately find the green source. Immediately punished. So play out the Veteran Explorer, and I think I'm gonna play out the deed. This is worse if he top decks exactly Pernicious Deed. We get to start attacking. I could Smother. Yeah, I think I'll just Smother. Like, he knows about the Smother anyway. Just gonna let him block. I get some lands, you get some lands, everybody gets some lands. And the question now is to play the Vedex or not. I think the answer is yes. It's got nothing. It's not great. We're not gonna play that land. Just gonna pass the turn. I could play out the... I guess I could play out the Cutter and start swinging, but like the likelihood that that works is so low. So now I don't know any cards left in his... okay, in his hand. It's a 6/7 untap. Another deed. I'm gonna send it back. Nothing to see here. I am going to chump, get some more lands. Maybe I should have gotten the Dreams and the Intent. I was scared of the fact that my opponent has a Therapy in the graveyard. So maybe I was just a little bit too unreasonably scared of that. Ugh. Just send it back. It's block. And I'm planning to crack this D the next turn, I guess. We're both flooding pretty hard. Oh, okay, there we go. So let's play out the Underground River, because now we're hopefully gonna fall into some action. Let's take 6. Wall. Please, please don't Haunting Echoes me. He says the rock is so bad. He's not right. He's not wrong. I don't think I should have foffed there. Like, he already knows about the Cutter, so I don't think I'm supposed to foff there. Recurrent Nightmare. Gross. He's gonna sack the Tusker. Gonna sack the Treetop to get back the the wall. Gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. Cycle Baron more. This game is hilarious. This is all so sad. So I have 10 mana, which is exactly 1 off of being able to foff and deed. This is so bad. So mana inefficient. So now we can Intuition for False Cure, but it doesn't do anything. Also, this Bullet Delta doesn't fetch anything. So I can cast this Intuition, but like it just doesn't really achieve anything. So I can go get False Cure, but then I have nothing. And I already have another deed, so I'm just gonna take the combo enablers. I feel like this deck needs more dreams. I have reached that conclusion. This deck needs more dreams. Oh, I messed that up. I should have Cabal Therapy for... That was just a mistake. I should have Cabal Therapy for Recurrent Nightmare. 100% a mistake. Yeah, so now he's gonna name Cutter here. So let's just crack this for 7. Because now he's gonna be able to get back the Hermit. We're so far away from putting this combo together. Oh no, the worm! Okay, we at least get to put the deed into play directly. Oops. I was F6'd. Doesn't really matter, I guess, because we can just crack the deed, unless he's got Naturalize. Oh, trigger on the stack, I should have cracked the deed. Whoops. Man, I'm making a lot of mistakes here. I'm making a ton of mistakes. So I guess everything can be forgiven if I find the dreams here? No. Okay. So we're just going to Cabal Therapy, naming Recurrent Nightmare. Oh, he has an unbeatable hand. Absolutely unbeatable hand. The worm. Another wall? So lucky. Okay, so I have perfect info about his hand. There's a Bailoff 2. Untap. Something good? Shift the turn back. I guess we're gonna take 7. And of course, if he ever draws Echoes, the game ends immediately, right? We did get to do the thing, though. And that's all that everybody's here for. Okay. So we do get to 7 him, which is kind of hilarious. He cracks Bailoff with False Cure in response, like a champion. Taste it. Taste it. Like, I'm gonna be forced to crack anyway, and while I'm at it, I might as well do that, right? There's not much value to not do that, so I need to find exactly Nostalgic Dreams, and we win. I keep saying Nostalgic Dreams. Oh no, it is Nostalgic Dreams, never mind. Okay, so I die to the Tempting Worm now. He had the Duress, so even top decking this False Cure doesn't do anything. Like, we really needed Nostalgic Dreams there to win. because we could have pitched like 4 cards and they get back False Cure plus 3 other things. 3 cards, sorry. But False Cure plus like Reverend plus Cutter would have been enough. Yeah, so we're definitely learning a lot here. We're definitely learning a lot. Fourth would have been potentially nice. Anyway, see you for the last round, I guess. Last match of the day. Okay, I think we keep this. We're gonna go turn 1 Wastes and then turn 2 Wall, and then potentially we can use Intent to pull ahead. Playing against Savannah Lions. Willow Blossoms is pretty good against Savannah Lions. Let's go, baby. The other City of Brass. Yikes. Furnace. Main deck Furnace. It's not great. Can't even cast this thing, which would actually be reasonable right now. I mean, like, this mana situation is brutal. I don't think I can afford to Cunning Wish here. If he had Meddling Mage, he probably would have played it this past turn. I guess I can go for Crop Rotation. That's so bad. I mean, I can do something like Wish for Diabolic Edict, but it doesn't really pull me ahead. Like, I need a way to actually get ahead here. But I don't think I want to cast this Therapy just yet. So I think I'm just going to pass the turn back and feel very sad about it. We're also taking infinite damage from this Cunning Wishes, from the City of Brasses, casting Cunning Wishes. If he doesn't play another threat, I guess I'm going to go with a removal spell. But there's no way he doesn't, yeah? Yeah, Meddling Mage. Probably going to have to kill that. Pernicious Steel. So yes, get Smother. It's a Delta. So I can now get a Swamp. Do I want to Therapy him? I kind of just want to get the Therapy into the graveyard. Alternatively, I could take 4 down to 8, down to 6. Oh my god, that's so bad. Yeah, I don't think I can do that. So I'm going to have to Smother here. The question is whether do I want a Therapy or not. I guess I'm going to name... What can I name? Exalted Angel? I think that's what I should name. Because if that comes down, I'm going to lose. Enlightened Tutor and Seal of Cleansing. I don't think those cards matter because they don't clock me. Taking 2 Eternats up though. So that Strand was played. Oh, come on! Oh my god. Oh wow. That's so funny. So play Wall of Blossoms. Oh my god. I mean, we could False Cure the trigger, but not super loving that, you know? This hand is so bad. Okay. I can double the Intent to go get a Forest, but then I'm gonna be taking 6 plus take 1 for 7. Yeah, I just can't do that. Can't do that. I need to save the wall so I can block the Savannah Lions. Man, that top deck Angel is such a big deal. False Cure the trigger here, but that doesn't really do much. Yeah, I don't think there's any combination of cards that I can win from. Not without having the Forest in play, so I cannot cast these things. Game number 2. Alright, so we want Smother for sure. And we probably, I guess, want Chain of Vapor? Therapy would only be there to enable Veteran Explorer, I think. I guess Therapy Meddling Mage for Deed is kind of a big deal. This is the problem, another issue with having Cunning Wish, right? Like, our entire sideboard is filled up with cards that are extremely narrow, like Crop Rotation and Chain of Vapor. So we have all of these wasted sideboard slots that mean that in a matchup like this one, like, there's no card that I want to bring in because I have all of this like dead space, right? I have all of this dead weight that I'm carrying. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of Cunning Wish as a card in Premodern. I feel like the cost is just way too high and the upside is it's simply not there in my opinion. So I'm gonna cut the Intent though. Like, this card is just too bad. We cannot cast it reliably. Oddly enough, the Swords to Plowshares on the wall mattered a lot. So I'm gonna keep this. Hope that my opponent does not have Swords to Plowshares. STP kind of wrecks this hand. Yep. Okay, so Cabal Therapy, we're gonna name Meddling Mage. Didn't even have the Cabal Therapy. We got there though. Woof! That's a lot of swords. Flooded Strand, Curse Scroll, Mother of Runes, Savannah Lions. So I think I'm going to play out the Waste, say go. This is bad if he top decks exactly Meddling Mage, but then he also fetched for a Plains, which makes me think that he probably does not have it. Port is actually kind of annoying here. Yeah, so by playing around the what's his name, I just got time walked by the port. By playing around the Seal of Removal, I'm also going to be taking a point. Brutal. Okay, so now that I know that I have another land, we can do this again. 2, yes. And let's actually crack right now, because otherwise that Angel is going to be a really big deal. This means that he's going to be able to like get this Curse Scroll in play, but that's just fine. Silver Knight. and Curse Scroll. So I guess we're gonna go Wall of Blossoms, draw a card, above Therapy U, name Source to Plowshares. That Therapy was pretty good though. Therapy top deck. This is a little bit awkward because my opponent, like, I cannot attack. I cannot block the Silver Knight because, okay, never mind. I was gonna say I cannot attack. I cannot block the Silver Knight because then my opponent can just activate Curse Scroll. But yeah, that'll do. Okay, that's a good draw, and I'm gonna crack it right now. I think Mom, kind of annoying. There's a blue source, and Mom is feeling frisky. Wall of Blossoms is big. I think he's just getting lazy and not even porting me. We can Nostalgia Dreams for Double Deed, which does not sound terrible. I think so. So let's get back Double Pernicious Deed. Pitching, I think Reverend Silence and Foff. So we're just doing this for value. I was not gonna crack, like I F6 there, but like I was just not gonna crack for 1 there. Because if he needs to like tap Mom to get in for 2, like I'm fine with this exchange here. And by these deeds just being in play, like I'm just getting a lot of value. Yeah, I'm gonna hold on to that waste, I think. Really need the blue source here. I'm probably gonna take like 1 or 2 more hits, and then that's it. Okay, there we go. So fetch for an island, and I think I'm just gonna main face Foff here. I think I'm gonna take pile number 2, ship it back. I could honestly just smother here, just smother the Mom. Yeah, I'll just crack this now. Take my 2 for 1. Morph? Really? So now I'm just going to smother the Morph. Oh, it's Whipcorder, that's why. Well, got some Veteran Explorers. Do I want to play out Pernicious Deed? I think I want to play out 1 more land and fetch right now, get the last fetchable. And yeah, I'm gonna pass. Phyrexian Furnace, gonna probably take my Cabal Therapies. Ramosian Sergeant? That's actually pretty good right here. Although I guess I can just let that happen and then clean up afterwards. So as is, we have only 6 damage in hand, which is not great. We can't find Nostalgic Dreams though. Okay, so I'll make that 11. I think I'm gonna swing with the Explorers. This is gonna deal 1 more damage. So now if I find Sky Shroud Cutter, I actually have enough. So this is actually an important point of damage in my opinion. And he also gets some lands, and that's fine. But we can clear this out whenever we feel like it. Block the Whipcorder. Double port. A little bit annoying actually. It's gonna go after the double swamp. Another Explorer. Damn it. We need to draw False Cure or Reverend Silence, Sky Shroud Cutter, or any of those cards should be fine. Parallax Wave. So that allows my opponent to save their own creatures. So I do have to watch out for that. Tap my Black Source. Tap my Black Source. Wish. So I'm gonna play out the waste, and now we're gonna be able to, in my opponent's end step, we're gonna be able to fetch for what we need. So on turn 17, we're finally going to be able to put this together. I guess I actually cannot crack, because if my opponent plays a Meddling Mage, we lose. So they save their dude. That's fine. Take 2. Silver Knight. So now we know that the combo is good to go. So we're gonna Cunning Wish for False Cure number 2. And now on upkeep, if he decides to tap my Swamp, we just cast a False Cure. It's gonna tap the other one, and we cast the second one. I'm trying to think if there's a cute way to like Pernicious Deed and kill the Parallax Wave, but I don't think there is, because the silence actually blows this up. So I was thinking if there's a way to like silence, like to crack Deed and hold priority and then cast silence, you know? But I guess that doesn't work because it's the sorcery. So it would be like cast silence, hold priority, and like crack Deed. All right, there we go. We got to do the thing again. Great. So now what? Duress. Do we want this? Don't think so. Chain of Vapor. I don't think we want that either. I think we just go with the same setup we have here. We just try to draw more basics and less CD brasses. Sounds like a solid plan. I mean, I'm gonna keep this hand, right? But once again, Swords to Plowshares would end it all. Oh, okay. Well, pivot, I guess. Please don't have a port. And I guess Meddling Mage would also be pretty brutal. Wasteland. Got him. Untap. Play the tower. Sack. We're gonna get... I think I want to get Black Source. Man, it's kind of rough that we drew the Factor Fiction, because now I kind of want to go for this. Kind of want to set this up now. But I think we need to get a Swamp for sure, because like this tower is going to get wastelanded. And we probably need a green source. What am I doing this turn? I think I want to like Deed and crack it. We could also just Cabal Therapy. Yeah, let's go for Therapy actually. So let's go, I guess I want to get a green source then. And let's just go Therapy for Meddling Mage. Seal of Cleansing and some lands. A little bit of a sketchy keep for him. Another Explorer is nice. Should turn back. Okay, so Wastelands, the tower, unsurprisingly. So if he's Sergeant, he doesn't bomb. So let's go Veteran Explorer, and I'm just gonna Flashback Therapy here. We're gonna get a black source and a blue source. I'm gonna still name Seal of Cleansing here. Load a blue, response to the port. Oof, not looking good for Lanny over there. So I guess we still have a land drop to give. So I think I'm just going to FOF main phase. Once again, I'm not particularly concerned about my opponent going wide. I think I'm gonna go for the bottom pile here because we do have Explorer. I'm not gonna play out the Explorer right now, but next turn I can go Deed plus Intent or something like that. Sergeant goes for Whipcorder. Also, by having Cunning Wish, that covers me from my opponent having Meddling Mage. Taps my island. He has one unknown. Trying to think if I should Cunning Wish right here, but I don't think so. I guess I do need to worry about Armageddon. Here's a Deed. We're just gonna ship the turn back. Doesn't activate Sergeant. So the nice thing here is that the Deed being in play stops my opponent from being able to do anything just by the threat of activation, which effectively gets me a time walk out of the deal, which is pretty nice. So now I just get to cast Diabolic Intent. So I already have a False Cure in hand because of the Wish, but I probably still want another False Cure so that I can go twice so that it doubles up. Shift the turn back, still playing around cardboard. Playing around Armageddon. So here we take 4, and I'm gonna activate Deed on end step. Okay, so now we do cast the Cunning Wish, response to the port. I think I'm gonna get another False Cure. Well, that's a lot of False Cures. So let's play Vedex and Flashback Therapy. Got a Forest. Actually, let's get double Swamp. Now that I drew the other False Cure, it's really bad. So I think I name Meddling Mage here. Another thing could be Armageddon, but man, he's really flooded over there. So I'm gonna play out the Deed, ship the turn back. I don't understand the porting there. So I'm probably gonna wish for Factor Fiction at this point. I don't think there's anything better. Maybe I'll wish for a removal spell. I'm gonna take 4, play a land, and pass the turn. Man, he really has not been able to catch a break. Flooded really hard. Factor Fiction. Response to the port. So he needs to split the silences. I'm gonna keep this one. So I don't have this wrong, right? If I cast 2 False Cures and a Reverent Silence, that is 24, right? So I checked with Lanny and he says that double cure means that it's ×3, which makes it so it's not lethal. So I'm not going to do that. Guess now I can play this out. So if he top decks Armageddon off the top, that's gonna be really annoying, but okay. So now we have super lethal. Aura of Silence. Okay, we'll still crack for 1. We're not going to do that. If he's been sandbagging a Meddling Mage, that would be devastating. Now that's a Curse Scroll when he still has 3 lands in hand that we cannot play fast enough. That's brutal. 50-50 and he missed. Oh my god, that's so rough. We did the thing, folks. So this should be 18 then. And then Shoutout Cutter. Oh my god, we did it. We got there. Well, that sure was something, huh? Thoughts about the deck. There were some things that I liked, some things that I did not like. So let's go over those real quick. First of all, Diabolic Intent felt very bad. Like, I don't think that we can support Diabolic Intent with only effectively 8 creatures. Because sure, we can, play Shoutout Cutter and enable Diabolic Intent that way, but first of all, every time you play a Cutter, whenever you have not cast False Cure, you're making your combo even harder to achieve. And not only that, but also you are now down one of your combo pieces. So definitely that's not the way to go. So Diabolic Intent is very much a no-no. And I did like Nostalgic Dreams a lot. Big fan of Nostalgic Dreams. I think that this card did a lot of work. I feel like this blue package is straight up unnecessary. So what we can do, and I think that could be very interesting, an interesting approach, we go ahead and we make the deck strictly green and black. This makes it so we get to fix in the mana base stuff like Treetop Village, which can be fantastic. And like having access to a card like Treetop Village is a huge deal because of the fact that just because our combo is not infinite, every extra life point that our opponent is over the combo threshold, be it, like 18 whenever we have double False Cure, or like if we have 3 Reverent Silences. But like if your opponent is at 17, for example, and you have like 1 Silence and 2 Cutters, you're still one mana off, one life off of killing them. So every life point that you take from their life actually does matter, because the deck has all of these like weird thresholds that that needs to get there for. So I think that we can cut all of the blue cards. We can play maybe Duresses in the main deck, maybe Removal in the main deck, and maybe even something like Skeletal Scrying. So Skeletal Scryings plus Nostalgic Dreams, obviously a little bit of a numbo, but we could use cards like, you know, by cleaning the mana base, we could do things like playing Cycling Lands, for example, play Treat the Village to sort of help out the combo as well. And we get to play real cards like, you know, Duresses and like Smothers, Diabolic Edict, etc. So I think that is something interesting and potentially a way that you could go about this deck. The mana situation felt pretty bad. Like our mana was pretty bad very often. Like it wasn't only like a couple of times that we would, you know, we could not cast our Factor Fiction or whatever. It happened multiple times that I was forced to mulligan hands because I had like double, like I had 2 swamps and I had like Veteran Explorer, Wall of Blossoms, like everything else was ready to go, but could not actually get running, you know. So I feel like cleaning up the mana base could be a big deal, and then making the spell suite a little bit cleaner could also be better. The Kind of Wish package felt like it was a little bit too much. So like crop rotation in order to go find your Phyrexian Tower is super cute, right? Because you have like an enabler for your Veteran Explorer, but like you have so many ways to sack your 8 creatures that, you know, between Therapy and Diabolic Intent, like already we don't even have enough creatures to sack to these effects, right? So I do feel like doing something like that could be powerful. I honestly could even see playing the Multani Acolyte, right? Like the green Elvish Visionary. I could even see playing that card just so we have access to some more cheap cycling creatures that we can play, just somebody that we can put into play just to get, you know, Cabal Therapy value. But I also could see once that we cut the blue cards, right? We still need to have a basic forest because of Reverend Silence, but and Skyshard card, like both cards actually require us to have a physical, you know, actual basic forest. But maybe if we up the forest count, that means that we don't have to play Veteran Explorer. I hate this card. I don't think that Veteran Explorer is powerful. Like we even saw it in the matchup against Gro-a-Tog when I just gave Lanny a batch of lands, and that was just terrible for me. So yeah, I'm not a fan of Veteran Explorer. So if there's any way that we can cut Vetex from the deck, that I think that could also help. Makes things a little bit smoother. Those are my thoughts then. Like out with Diabolic Intent, in with more Nostalgic Dreams. This card overperformed, and it was the card that I was hoping to draw multiple times throughout these matches. And then like I would want to see what would happen if you just straight up cut the blue cards and just instead have like real cards. Because like one issue that I run into multiple times is that realistically the only way you can win is through the combo, right? There's no backup avenue, right? Like you cannot pivot and be, you know, just be like, okay, here's a Deranged Hermit, like deal with this now, you know. So as long as your opponent has a way to stop the combo from happening, that is gonna be that. Like you're just gonna lose the game. So by making room and maybe having something like, you know, cards like Obstinate Baloth or just robust creatures that can clog the board a little bit to buy time, then I think that that's an interesting avenue to explore. Although, yeah, of course, like Intuition is a strong card in the deck, and so is Factor Fiction. I did not like Cunning Wish, so even if you wanted to continue playing this Bug Shell, I would just cut the Cunning Wishes and I would just play 4 False Cure in the main deck and just up the Intuition count. That would allow me to have access to like a clean sideboard, like a real sideboard, because sideboarding was very poor throughout the entire league, right? Like as long as it's a matchup where you don't want Duresses and Swarms, then you don't really have a sideboard. So I think that that's a really big deal. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Once again, thank you, Gerard, for the support. I really appreciate it, man. And hopefully you enjoyed this league. Hopefully you found some my thoughts interesting and worth exploring. If you do, just, you know, I would love to see an updated list from you with, you know, using the feedback here, or not. You can just leave it if you want as well. I don't mind that either. But that's gonna be it for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And if you don't, also, that's fine. See you in the next video, folks. Take care and bye bye.